Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is ThePromG. Welcome back to a brand new video. Now, what if you guys today is my monthly manga reading log for the month of November. Now, as per usual, I got the opportunity to read lots of amazing series this month, and in this video, we're going to be going over everything that I read throughout this entire month. We have a pretty good variety of series to go over today, and I cannot wait to go over it with you guys. So if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so the first series that I read this month are actually all from Inio Asano, one of my favorite mangaka. And throughout this month, most, if not all, of my Inio Asano collection was actually here at my house, whereas I was staying at my college dorm, so I didn't have any Asano. But during one of the weeks this month, I actually came back for the weekend and stayed, obviously for the weekend. So I had some good opportunities to read some manga that I didn't have at my college dorm, and I took advantage of that and read some of the Inio Asano manga that I had yet to read. And the first manga that I read over this weekend was Downfall. Now, this is definitely one of Inio Asano's more sad or depressing series, and while personally it didn't really make me too sad or depressed, you know, it is a more somber read for sure. It's been a while since I read this volume, but if I remember correctly, it's about this mangaka who was very successful with one of his series, but he's kind of fallen off a bit, and he's just kind of in a slump in his career and in his relationship. Just has all sorts of different troubles in his life. And the thing that I think makes this the most sad to me personally is that this is probably a little bit of a look into Inio Asano's personal life, as obviously it follows a mangaka who, you know, faces all these different issues. And while this isn't probably his exact experience, I'm assuming he took some inspiration from his personal experiences when he was creating this manga. Whether you're an Inio Asano fan or you're looking for a more somber one-shot to read pretty quickly, I definitely would recommend reading Downfall. And the next series that I was able to complete this month by Inio Asano was What a Wonderful World, Volumes 1 and 2. Now, this series is a collection of short stories split up into 2 volumes that were put out by Viz Media. And I gotta say, reading this series was really a pleasant surprise. I did not go into this expecting a whole lot. I'd seen some mixed reviews on it, but I decided, you know, to give the benefit of the doubt and give it a try. And there were some really enjoyable stories in this series. Now, with that, I wouldn't say that there are any stories in this short story collection that were really gripping or that left a lasting impact on me, you know, months or weeks after I read this. But in my opinion, this is still a great series. I think the first volume is a little bit harder to find at the moment. It might be out of print, but if you can find this series for a good price, I definitely would recommend giving it a try because this is one that I personally really enjoyed reading. And with the last Inio Asano manga that I read this month, I was able to catch up to date with Volume 8, Bars, of Dead Dead Demons. This month, I believe I read Volumes 6 through 8 of Dead Dead Demons. A lot of the volumes were held hostage in one of my packages by USPS, so I couldn't really read them right away, but I was able to just breeze through them this month, and boy, do I really love this series. Now, in the volumes I read this month, that being 6 through 8, there are some absolutely huge plot twists, and of course I won't spoil anything. Whether you're an Asano fan or not, if you are not reading this series yet, you need to get on this. This is probably my favorite Inio Asano manga, even above Goodnight Punpun. I've said it time and time again. This is a fantastic series, and I think that anyone who reads this can get some great enjoyment out of it. And moving on, the next thing that I read this month is actually a completed series, and that would have to be one of my favorites of all time, Dorohedoro. This month I was able to read volumes 15 through 23, which is complete, of Q Hayashida's Dorohedoro, and man, I gotta say, this was an absolutely amazing series. When it comes to a manga with a deep and fleshed out world, with vastly vivid and interesting characters, I don't think I've read anything quite up to the standards of Dorohedoro. I mean, this series is absolutely amazing in that regard. And everything in general is just awesome about this series. More in the later half, it goes more into the story, whereas I think the first 6 or 7 volumes really focused on, you know, kind of this slice of life comedy-ish. You know, the story really just explodes, it goes crazy, and I found myself absolutely gripped by the story in this manga. Now, keep this a secret, but because I actually enjoyed this series so much, I actually went ahead and pre-ordered some kind of expensive figures from the series, so, you know, don't tell my parents or anything like that, but a video on those may be coming very soon. But overall, Dorohedoro is an absolutely amazing read, very wacky and unique, and I would highly recommend this to any seinen fan. And the next series that I read this month is one that I kind of completed technically, and that would have to be Bleach. Now, this month I read volumes 23 through 48, which is the end of the second box set, and kind of the ending, but not like the official ending. Now, when it comes to Bleach, some people think this series is amazing, and some people think that this whole series is hot ass. Especially when it comes to the third box set. So at the end of this volume, there is an ending. It's kind of bittersweet, but I thought it was a pretty good ending, a good place for the series to end off. But man, a lot of people are telling me I need to read the third box set, and I'm kind of skeptical. Some people say don't even touch it. And then some people say, oh yeah, this is like the second to best arc is in this box set, you have to read it. Will I actually end up reading it? That's kind of up in the air. It's definitely on the back burner for sure, as I was pretty satisfied with where this ended. But as for what I read of Bleach this month, the fights probably weren't as good as the Soul Society arc, but they were pretty enjoyable. Some absolutely amazing characters like Grimjow, and the other guy who I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his character name. Also, Ichigo gets some absolutely stupid random power-ups for no reason, so I mean, yeah, it's Bleach alright. And the next manga that I read this month is something that I finished yesterday and I thought it was a really great read, pretty fast, and that is going to be Blue Spring by Taiyo Matsumoto. Now, I'll refrain from going too into depth on this right now, just because I recorded a manga review for this book yesterday, so I'll be out probably in the coming weeks. Now, if you're not familiar with this book, this is basically a one-volume collection of short stories all put together in this one Viz volume. And the stories all kind of follow these characters who are kind of at a crossroads in life or a dead end. They don't really know what the future holds for them. And again, I won't go too into detail on this, but just know that I probably wouldn't recommend this to anyone who is not already an established Taiyo Matsumoto fan. If someone went blind into this, I don't think they would enjoy it too much. But if you're familiar with his style and the way he does some of his stories and builds his environments, I think that you would enjoy this to some degree. And the final series that I've been reading this month is one that I actually just got this month, and that would have to be Parasite. Now, I gotta say, after the first book, I wasn't completely 100% sure on whether I was going to enjoy this, but the more I keep reading, I am just sucked into the story. Everything about this is really, really good, such as the artwork, which is a perfect blend of like dated artwork and super detailed artwork. I also really like all of the characters. I love the dynamic between Shinichi and Migi, I believe is the parasite in his hand. This is a really, really good series that I'm glad I started reading. It's kind of a sin how long I put off reading this. This is one that a lot of people recommend and they read right away. But I guess it's better late than never, and I'm really glad that I actually started reading this series this month. So if you're looking for an interesting manga with some great action and art and a lot of body horror, then I think you cannot go wrong with Parasite. Anyways, guys, that is all the manga that I read over the month of November. Make sure to leave in the comments below your favorite thing that you read this month, or some manga that you recommend I read in December and the coming year. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more manga videos just like this. So yeah, this has been ThePromG. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and as always, hope to catch you in the next one.